Muy buenas a todos, bienvenidos a mi canal y bienvenidos a The Witcher 3, donde nos encontramos con Geralt avanzando con la historia principal, después del último capítulo en el que conseguimos información acerca de un establecimiento, un prostíbulo de nombre Romero y Tomillo, que parece ser que ha caído en manos de un antiguo compañero nuestro, Jaskier, que es el bardo que cuenta las historias de Geralt, nada más y nada menos. Así que vamos a ir para allí a visitarlo, estamos a unos 40 metros, a ver qué nos encontramos en ese establecimiento y a ver si conseguimos alguna pista nueva acerca de la posible ubicación de Ciri o de qué ocurrió con ella por aquí por la ciudad. La tenemos ya por aquí, este es el establecimiento, parece ser. Nos indica de entrar por el otro lado. Bueno, vamos a ver aquí. ¿Voltán? A ver, ya hemos llegado, vamos a ver. Este es el enano que nos acompañaba. Ya nos hemos cruzado con él en las historias anteriores. Y a ver qué nos cuenta aquí dentro.
Zoltan, with your boot to someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local color. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs.
Oh, pues parece que tienes más compañía. Para limpiar un poco. Por supuesto.
With pleasure.
Ahí está, Geralt, claro que sí. Venga, levanta los puños. Bueno, a ver. ¿Qué? ¿Dos para cada, no? ¿O cómo? Sí, quietecito. Mira cómo atacan de dos en dos, ¿eh? Venga, vaya pedazo de puño que le he metido. Ven. Voy a ver si le hago algún perfect a alguno de ellos. ¡Oh, mierda! ¡Guau! Los dos de un puño. Ah, que se levanta otra vez. Ah, pero se levanta para irse. A ver, pequeño. Mira. ¡Pum! Fuera. Perfecto, todos tumbados. Pírate de aquí. Rápido.
I'm pleased. That went well. Now we can greet each other like the gods ordained. Ages, pal.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Training plenty lately. What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You know, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
Pues sí.
It's about Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe he could explain what the hell's going on. Well, just barely returned, as you saw. Expecting to come home to a hot leg of boar and some cold ale, and what do you find instead? A shitestorm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Have no clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
Vale. Busca pistas en la planta baja con tus sentidos de brujo. Toma, piedra rúnica. Perfecto.
Reading someone else's letters.
Bueno, ya sabéis, a saquearlo absolutamente todo, ¿eh? Aquí tenemos esto también, que lo he visto desde el principio.
10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's his planner.
Dandelion and planning? Good one. Besides, anything he wrote here Probably had a special system. Chaos only he could ever decipher. Actually, in the past, sometimes not even that.
Give him a chance. Might not be that bad. Seems when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, who'd he been seeing of late? Ah, here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late, the dog.
Podría sernos útil.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... Ah, fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Such a...
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
And you figure that's unnatural because...
Wonderful. Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
A ver, ¿qué es lo que nos cuenta? Yo creo que estará... Igual está en misión, pero... Sí. Estará en objetos de misión. Agenda de Jaskier, aquí lo tenemos, vale. Rosa Bar Altre, como una rosa avergonzada de su color carmesí, la justa rosa se hunde en la melancolía. Por el manejo de su enana, cambió sus clases de cortesía. Una villa encantadora rodeada de un jardín en Villa Áurea. Molly, al encaje y la seda está acostumbrada, pero se olvida al ser por la lujuria abrazada. Villa Áurea, villa al lado del depósito de cadáveres. Vespula, aunque de apariencia tímida, nunca tiene ningún lance. Y me desahogo cuando suelta, siempre lo has tenido tan grande. Villar, lavandería al lado del desembocadura de Pondar, vale. Maravilla. Aunque con las puertas cerradas sus gritos son divinos, sobre el escenario los ahogan los ronquidos. Los restos cerca de la plaza del pobre, Elial, una doble personalidad de la más singular. Mírala a los ojos o te humillará. Una sastrería al otro lado de la curtiduría. Vale, pues ya hemos visto todos. Ya tenemos que hablar ahora con todos. Bueno, habla con Zoltan primero. 450 puntos de experiencia, madre mía.
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone.
Ok, ya sé todo lo que quería saber.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
Vamos allá. Habla con Vespula, la primera de todas. Venga. Salimos del edificio y vamos hacia ella. Tenemos a 76 metros. Vamos a ver si podemos llegar. Sí, está justo aquí al lado. Yo creo que es en este edificio. Grabo la partida. Cuidadito. ¿Qué pasa aquí?
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay.
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armor?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula tiene un nuevo protector.
Got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
¿Qué decimos? ¿Nosotros o el rey de los mendigos? Yo. Ay.
Mine. Offered her a better rate.
All right. So, let's see if you're a good bargain or just cheap shit.
Perfecto. Veámoslo. Son nivel 11. Cuidado aquí con los fiera, ¿eh? No, hombre, pero quiero darle a este. Vale, uno menos. Epe, ¿qué hace este pegando? Joder, pues me ha pegado bastante fuerte. Cuidado con lo que pegan, A ver, quédate ahí un poco tonto que te quiero arrancar la cabeza. Ah, que está el arquero también por ahí, repartiendo estopa. A ver, con los arqueritos, venga. Aturdido. Y a casa. Bueno. A ver qué nos cuenta.
Covered in blood, all of it. So much work for naught.
No need to thank me. It was nothing.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but everything I had, I just lost.
Don't know if you remember. We've met.
I don't... Wait, I know you. You're that witcher I near clobbered with a vase when... Well...
When you kicked Dandelion out. Through the balcony. Actually, he's the reason I'm here. Know where he is?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbor. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Covier. Ha! Horvier, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help.
Perfecto, primera investigación realizada.
Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
¿Le dejo
No.
algún recadito?
I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
Parece que este hombre deja marca ya donde va, ¿eh? Vamos a por la siguiente. 104 metros. Hombre, hemos subido de nivel. Estamos en nivel 15 actualmente. Bueno, 70 metros de desplazamiento. Fijaros que solo por hacer esto ya nos han dado 270 puntos de experiencia. La verdad es que realizar misiones es lo que más experiencia sube. Vamos a ver por aquí. Está dentro de este edificio el IAL.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elial.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elial?
Yes.
No me lo puedo creer.
Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elial was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here.
¡Es un travestido!
Any better?
So you're...
Elial.
Did you and Dandelion... I mean... How did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
No quiero saber el resto.
Don't think I want to know what happened next.
Oh, stop. He wasn't so drunk as not to figure it out. Besides, men don't interest me. I told him that from the start. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
¿Cuándo lo viste por último?
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button rear fixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, ooh, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
I know this is none of my business, but why do I
dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested.
Ok, pues muchas gracias por tu ayuda.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
Perfecto, pero vamos, ya te adelanto que toda esa ropa que tienes no me mola absolutamente nada. Otros 135 puntos de experiencia. Bueno, y aparte ese tiene también materiales para comprar. Bueno, ahora estamos a 300 metros del siguiente. ¿Puedo llamar al caballo? Sí.
We've met before.
And how? Imagine this, Louisa. The Emperor desired a chat with the Witcher. I, too, was fortunate enough to meet him then.
So Geralt of Rivia now works for Emperor Emir. Interesting. Has Var Emry sent you to rid Novigrad of monsters?
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
My maidservant. I'm afraid she's currently at the home of my dear friend Patricia Vegelbud.
Perhaps Geralt could accompany us. He could speak with Molly at the races.
Is that something you consider, Witcher? Care to partake of some sophisticated diversion?
Vamos a acompañarle.
Well, if Molly will be there.
On our way, then.
La finca de los Vegenwood, unas horas después. Ya hemos llegado. Vamos a ver dónde está Molly.
We've arrived.
My father owned a similar estate in Bruges. As a young girl, I'd travel there often to ride.
Shall we look at the horses? Do you like horses, Geralt?
I guess so. Called every horse I've had Roach.
The grey mare is Cantarella, sired by Jaskier, the champion from Vol.
Grey's a nice color. For horses, too.
My coin's in the black stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General.
A ver, ¿sabes algo más sobre los demás?
The chestnut or the bay?
The chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Retanian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Resistencia, Bueno, me gustaría hablar con Molly.
Is Molly a horse?
Pardon?
I did come here to see Molly, after all.
Patience, Witcher. She ought to arrive soon. I asked Molly to join us as soon as she was done with her chores. She shouldn't be long now.
All depends what you asked her to do, milady. but I don't really have a choice. I'll wait.
Vale, sabes mucho de caballos.
Seem to know your horses.
No is not the word. Morvran's a true expert.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle. Made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
Pues venga, echemos una carrera.
Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Well said. So, which steed do you choose, Witcher?
Hombre, Cantarela este es el gris, que hemos dicho que nos gusta. Este es el negro, el nilfgaardiano, el que le mola al otro, así que no voy a pillar ese. El castaño rayo, el nombre indica que puede ser rápido, pero es el que es un poco difícil de domar. Y este es el que tenía bastante resistencia. Por lo cual voy... voy a pillar el que tiene resistencia, a ver si se cumple.
I'll not ride with you, but I shall bet on a steed. Nemrod will win, no matter the rider.
Cantarella for me, then. I see no point in delaying this. Let's begin.
Vale, pues venga, echemos una carrerita a caballo. Cargando, vamos allá. Directo a la carrera. 2, 1. Vamos. Dale caña. Que se nos adelanta el tío. No sé si podemos sacarle diferencia. Sé que el vigor del caballo, joder, no sé, para tener más resistencia no sé yo, 800 metros todavía. No. Frénales, frénales. Frénale para que no te adelante. Madre mía, nos adelanta. Ojos de trigo. Vamos, que llegamos, que llegamos. Toma ya. Misión actualizada.
What a thrill! A beautiful victory!
Thanks.
For one for whom every horse is a roach, you carry yourself exquisitely in the saddle. My congratulations. That is yours.
Muy bien, silla de montar de carrera superior.
Now,
Oh,
could I
yeah.
talk to your chambermaid, milady?
Ah, yes, Molly. That is why you came here after all. The portly young woman. That's her.
Speak to her. And you must find us when you're ready to return to Novigrad. We'd be delighted to join you for the journey.
Vale, perfecto, vamos a ver. Lo primero, vamos a ver esa silla. Esta silla que tiene 50 de vigor. 50 de vigor, pero sí es igual que la que tenemos. Y pesa 7 kilos con 50. Y esta pesa 0,01. Esta hay que venderla como lo más rápido posible. Y bueno, vamos a hablar entonces ahora con la tipa esta, con Molly. Habla con Molly. A ver, ¿qué nos cuentas?
I'm Molly, my lord. Wish to see me?
Call me Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelions rescued time and time again.
No es exactamente así, pero bueno. Vamos a decirle la verdad.
That's right. Except it's the other way around. I'm always saving him.
Mean to say it weren't Dandelion saved you in Flotsam by severing your noose with an arrow from 100 paces?
What? Dandelion couldn't...
No
Never
importa,
mind.
efectivamente.
Any idea where our master archer might be at the moment?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. The Baroness don't approve of our acquaintance. Says Dandelion's a good-for-nothing layabout. Can you imagine? But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
¿Hermana?
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister.
Sure he does. Saw him himself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Mm-hmm. Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
Know where I can find her, Dandelion's sister?
I know. Whenever I asked Dandelion when we visit her, he'd grow all quiet and then change the subject.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Of course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias.
Hija mía, te ha timado, pero bien.
Seen him since.
Un poco ingenua. Venga, gracias.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait, before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. And I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks, and good luck to you on your search.
Muy bien, pues nada, ahora ya tenemos que hablar con la baronesa para abandonar ya esta ubicación e ir directamente a No Brigado. Vale, pues hemos llegado a No Brigado. Estamos de vuelta. Nos queda hablar con otras dos de las novias de este juglar.
And here we are. Thank you for your company.
Likewise. See ya.
Venga, nos queda hablar ahora con Marabella. Vamos a ello, estamos a 60 metros. Hay que andar por aquí. Se está haciendo... Es de noche ahora mismo. ¿Abajo? A ver, Marabella.
Now can we talk?
Yes. What do you want?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh, yes. Longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems?
No. We perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
Found a poem Dandelion wrote about you. Portrayed you as an unusually talented individual.
Really? Did he mention my poetry? Horses have always fascinated me. I've always longed to extol their noble beauty. Did you see any of my work at Dandelion's? Mere exercises, true, but I'd be curious to know what you thought of them.
No. Didn't see any.
Gee up! A snaky whip rose skyward. Gee-haw! Crack! She reined the beast in. The stallion danced betwixt her thighs. Lather bathed its chinny chin.
Sorry, don't know much about poetry.
Pero es ponzoña, vamos. ¿Lo has visto últimamente? Vamos a ver.
See Dandelion after the fungus incident?
No. I even considered granting him another chance. His heart of hearts is pure gold. He simply needs a bit more discipline in his life. But he never came back to see me. So I thought if it's done, it's done.
Ok, pues nada.
Thanks for your help.
Otra investigada. Nos queda solo una. Sin actualizada, Flores Rotas. Habla con Rosa. Otros 135 puntos de experiencia. Oh. Pero con esta misión estamos subiendo mucho. A ver, ¿por dónde es? Por aquí. 100 metros. No, ¿qué es esto? ¿Bandidos? ¿Qué me estás... Ahí va, ¿qué me estás contando? Equivocado encima de tecla, tío. A ver, venir. Sobre todo ahora que me he echado esto. Es el nivel 9, o sea, me pone en gris. Somos ya 15 más de 5 por encima. Arde. Ya. Deja de hacer gestitos con la mano. que atacar. ¡Hala! Ah, no, que le falta un golpe. Mira, si no tiene ni raya. Ahí está, ni raya de vida tenía. Saqueamos sándwich de jamón. Vale, esconde la espada, que no queremos más problemas de los que ya tenemos. Ah, coño, este también es. Pues mira. Hala, vamos a hacerle ya fatality. Toma. A casa. Saqueamos. Y oye, me ponía que estaba por aquí y ahora estoy dando una vuelta de la leche. Hay que rodear toda la manzana. ¡Aquí hay más! ¿Que quieren más pelea? ¡Hala! Uno menos. Y este, mira, este lo vamos a hacer así. Para rematarlo de 2 golpes. Y a este vamos a dejar que ataque. Ataca, ataca. Pues si no atacas, te dejo tonto y rematado. Pasamos de ellos. Está cerrado. Ah. Soy el nuevo profesor de esgrima. ¡Ostras! Estoy buscando a Rosa Baralte. Soy el nuevo cocinero. A ver, estoy buscando a la tipa.
Oh, mate, if you only knew what I want. Miss Rosa don't see just anybody.
I'm Geralt of Rivia, a witcher.
Soon as Miss Rosa turns into a striker, I'm sure her papa will send for you. But she's not showing any symptoms yet, so I venture you're not needed. On your way now.
One false move and you will regret it.
Entra en la villa. ¿Me quiero? Hombre, no le podré engañar nuevamente, ¿no? Cago en la leche. Mira, por ser honrado. Vamos a dar entonces la vuelta. Y ahora ya estamos por aquí cerca. Las flores todas nos las quedamos. Hay un montón de cosas también para saquear. A ver. Aceite. Bueno, pues habrá que entrar en la casa, deduzco. Por aquí. Cerrado.
It's Lady Varatra to you. And I'd advise you to sod off, Sugarpuss, before I
Está aquí.
Who are you? Why are you here? Answer this instant or I'll summon the guards.
Sorry to sneak in, miss. I'm Geralt, a friend of the bard Dandelion.
Geralt of Rivia? The famed witcher of the ballads?
What are you doing here, vagrant? How'd you get in? I let no one in the front, my lady. I swear it on the great sun.
Not a word. I'll handle this. Hold your tongue, sir. This is Frederick Francis de Bergerac, my new swordplay instructor, correct? Show him to the training room. I shall join him shortly.
But my lady's a witcher. Said so himself back by the gates.
Captain, do you truly believe Rosa Varatra would train with random clods calling themselves swordmasters? No. The Varatras demand the very best. Thus, we've hired a witcher. Take him to the training room, now.
As you say, miss.
Venga, ya la has oído. A ver, ¿dónde me llevas? Avanza, avanza. Bien, 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 ya nos hemos cambiado. Ahora ya solo tenemos equipada la de madera. No vaya a ser que nos confundamos y sacamos la de acero o la de plata y la liemos parda. Vamos allá. No hay que subestimarle, que no sabemos lo que es capaz. Venga, ven, ven, ven. Ven para aquí. No, 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 no. Perfecto. Ya le hemos quitado la mitad.
Well fought. You're much better than the last one.
I'm not actually your swordplay instructor.
Really? Then who are you? And how on earth did you get in?
Pero no acabamos de hablar.
Am I imagining things? Didn't we just have this conversation in the garden?
The garden? Yes, yes. In the garden. So, what was it you said? Why are you here?
Me huele raro esto.
Before I ask, gotta admit, you do pretty well with a sword. One pointer. Don't expose your left flank when you dodge.
Oh, I know. Terrible habit. Can't seem to get rid of it. I'd hoped to find someone in Novigrad who could help me to do so. But don't you dare try to dazzle me with advice. Already admitted you're not here to give me lessons.
Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us.
¿Nosotras?
I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship.
¿Son hermanas algunas?
If you call him
Tiene que haber más de
chasing
una.
after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch.
Seguro que son gemelas. ¡Para, coño! Venga, ven aquí.
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one?
Esquiva. Ataca. No, pega bastante bien, ¿eh? A esquivar. Pero coño, que no le hago nada. A ver. Ahora. Ahora sí, ahora sí. Uy, si te dejas tan vendida. Ven, ven, pega ataque fuerte. Ahí estás. Fuera.
Well, if you're not an instructor, you should certainly be one. Fancy giving me a few private lessons?
Con mucho gusto.
Can't rightly refuse a request from a lady.
What are you two lovebirds whispering about?
¿Ves?
You
Ahí está la
asked
hermana.
about my relationship with Dandelion? Well, here's the mix-up's mastermind. Edna Var-Atra, the greatest mischief maker north or south of the Yaruga.
Hang on. So it was you in the garden.
Of course it was me. Why, did Rosa try to play you for a fool? Don't be mad. We've done this since we were children. People have always mistaken us for one another.
Can someone please explain what this is all about? Which of you met with Dandelion?
No need to get angry, instructor. I'll explain. Edna sent Dandelion some love letters. She signed my name. Conceited as he is, naturally he fell for it. I was left to repel the aging bard's advances. Rosa, I had the best of intentions, you know that. I felt you needed help taking the first step. You blushed every time he sang a ballad. He'll next sing at your funeral if you don't stop it right now.
Calm down, ladies. No poet's worth two sisters nipping at each other's throats.
Especially not this one.
Listen, I just want to know one thing. Either of you seen Dandelion lately?
Edna might have. I certainly have not. My dear sister, I would never spend time alone with a man for whom you burn with a secret passion. Burn with passion? For one who incessantly praises another woman's talents? Afraid I've more sense than that.
Dandelion act any different lately? Notice anything strange?
Strange? Not really. It's no use, Geralt. She's so enamored she'd hardly notice if he turned into a werewolf. Edna, what? You needn't pretend he followed convention. Remember when he took us to the cemetery?
Rhetoric lessons in a cemetery. Unusual even for Dandelion.
We set out to visit the graves of celebrated Oxenford professors. He ended up quizzing us about Margrave Henkel.
Who?
Eccentric old coot. Died recently. He'd apparently been an important and generous patron of the arts as a young man.
What are two young Nilfgaardian aristocrats doing in Novigrad?
Dying of boredom. Papa's a diplomat. He also has many business dealings in Novigrad. He's a member of the Trade Corporation. Takes us along everywhere he goes, and must then find us new tutors in each spot. And so in Novigrad, the task fell to the poet Dandelion, Rosa's betrothed. Edna!
Bet sophisticated young ladies like you know a bunch about politics.
We've picked up a few things. What would you like to know?
Changing subjects.
Pasamos de la política. Aquí no la va a Jaskier.
Who'd Dandelion sing about? Know anything about her?
I believe she's a poetess, or Trebaritz. Very skilled and exceptionally talented, of course.
This woman. Not a local, right?
I seem to remember him praising her melodious Kaviri accent. Makes sense. He referred to her as Calonetta a few times. Bizarre names are common in Kavir.
Gotta ask Zoltan about this Calonetta.
Ok, debo irme.
Been a pleasure, but I've got stuff to take care of.
Exceedingly nice to meet you. Please come again. Well, can I expect any more lessons in future?
¿Dónde y cuándo?
Awfully convincing, miss. Wonder where you learned it. Name the time and place.
House here, tomorrow. Same time as today.
See you then.
See you, Master Witcher.
Ah, you're back. You met Poppy? She ought to start talking any day now.
¿Un halcón? ¿Un búho o qué es? Es una lechuza, no un loro. Ah, una lechuza. ¿De dónde lo has sacado?
That Field Marshal Duda's replacement? The Marshal was a parrot, you do remember, right? Where'd you get her?
At auction. Some mage's estate went under the hammer. Witch hunters and the Eternal Fire joined forces, staked out his place and rounded the sorry sap up. Put his things up for sale. Happened to be passing by and saw this out. Came with her own cage.
How could you resist?
Could be. Weren't possible. Ah, but dandelions what matters now. So, how'd you do? Learn much?
Women on my list hadn't seen Dandelion in a while. All claimed he had been acting strange. Also mentioned he'd been seeing someone else. Thing is, Mystery Woman wasn't on my list.
What's she supposedly like, this lass?
Blonde, from Kovir. A Troberitz, apparently, named Calonetta or something like that.
That makes it clear as crystal. It's Priscilla. Aye. Must be her.
Who's this Priscilla?
A Troberitz, like you said. Quite popular of late. Picture Dandelion with a pair of tits and you've got the general idea.
Interesting image. So how'd Dandelion handle meeting his female double?
I think he fell in love.
Lo dudo.
Dandelion in love. Actually, truly in love.
Oh, yes. The laddie's head's on fire. Lassie's got him whirling.
All right. Guess we gotta talk to her.
Priscilla works with a mummers troupe. Reynard and the Foxen. Whenever they're in town, she performs nightly at the Kingfisher.
Mean we've been sentenced to an evening of poetry?
Must you always? This'll be true poetry, Geralt. You'll see.
Venga, pues ahora nos toca reunirnos con Zoltan en el Martín Pescador. Después del ocaso. Vamos a terminar de requisar aquí toda todas las pertenencias que todavía siguen aquí, porque acabamos de, como quien dice, acabamos de pasar por este edificio a saquearlo todo. Y otra vez sigue estando. Parece que después del viajecito que hemos hecho a las carreras de caballos, aquí vuelve a estar todo otra vez intacto. Y bueno, hasta aquí va a llegar el capítulo de hoy. Espero que hayáis disfrutado de este avance en busca de Jaskier después de estar hablando con todas sus pretendientas. Si es así, si os ha gustado, acordaros de ese dedito para arriba, ese like que ayuda muchísimo. Me dejáis cualquier cosa en los comentarios en la cajita de aquí abajo y nos vemos en la siguiente. Un saludo y hasta pronto.